Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. Today, we'll hear from Thomas Doherty from the Branch Brook Park Alliance about how they maintain the garden's beauty. But first, Chef David Burke has opened his 8th restaurant in his home state of New Jersey and has many more nationwide, even internationally. Here now to make our mouths water is celebrity chef David Burke. Chef, how are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So I was telling you off camera, I feel like every week I hear that you're opening a new restaurant in New Jersey. And obviously you view the Garden State as a valuable place to do business in, especially in the restaurant scene. Why so?
A couple decades back, it was hard to do the business that I would like to have done in Jersey. It was more of people eating out on weekends. They went out on Friday, Saturday night, but a lot of them were commuting into the city and working. And that has changed. I think people travel. I think people are working from home. Uber has helped, with the driving and getting to places. And I think people want to live in a community that has good food, and you see that outside the big cities now. So we were fortunate to get out to Jersey a little earlier because I was interested in buying a real estate. So Jersey's been good for investing in real estate for us. People will come out and spend the money that we're looking for them to spend, depending on whether it's high end, middle of the road, or even fast casual. As long as we're meeting their expectations, you can afford a liquor license. We can, and it helps us very much. And our brand is strong in Jersey, so we've been able to capitalize on that. And the workforce is pretty good in Jersey.
Recipe for success, for sure. I think what's interesting is that you are rapidly expanding your portfolio over the past couple years. Obviously, COVID did a number on the restaurant business, but it looks like you see great opportunity in the landscape.
When COVID hit, we were shut down and we panicked a little bit. We had projects on the books already. Two of them were in Saudi Arabia, a couple of them were in New York, and we decided let's run faster instead of slowing down. And we took the ball and we ran with it. We finished Orchard Park. We were in South Orange, which we're currently back in South Orange at Fox and the Falcon. We also we opened we opened in Charlotte, and we opened in Saudi Arabia, as well as a couple of others in Jersey. So we took the ball, we ran with it. It took us. We weren't making money during the pandemic. We were breaking even, and that was okay for us because we got to practice during COVID. We kept people employed, and we signed deals. People were panicking, and when COVID went south, we were in a good position. We had a strong team, lots of employees, and we can expand in New Jersey because we have several different locations and managers and chefs that want to be promoted. So instead of losing a good employee for a better opportunity with another group, we can pave the way for their success.
How do you keep it all straight? Because obviously you have such a reputation, and it really takes a village to make one restaurant hum, never mind all the ones that you just ran down. So, what is your approach managerially?
I wish it was easy to put on paper. About our approach is to try and hire the best we can and train them or bring back people that once worked for us. We're finding that to be really good because they know the systems. But the hardest part of our job is the employees right now, finding talent and the right attitude of commitment and passion and the winning attitude to move forward. We run at a high speed. We got a great corporate infrastructure, and sometimes people are attracted. Better chefs and managers are attracted to a company that they see expanding and they see growth for. So we get surprised, and we do some great hires, and then again the turnover in the restaurant industry is very high. So we were always struggling with that because people poach our best managers and chefs. They also, there's a lack of commitment for working 50, 60 hours a week in the kitchens. And the wait staff is the wait staff. I mean, the wait staffs are, some of them are part-time, some of them are full-time. So we're figuring it out. There's no magic formula. We work hard, we try to work smart, and we're ambitious, but we do have our headaches, and it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's not easy for everybody. We're in the same boat as everybody else, so we're just paddling a little faster.
Exactly. But you have all of this on your mind. It's a big burden to bear being a business owner of such a conglomerate that you've built. So, what's your secret to keeping it all in balance?
Well, you need to get rest. I've been doing this for so long. I really, we're used to problems. It's part of the problem is part of the solution, obviously, and part of the growth. So sometimes people look at the problems and are like, well, that was expected. We understand that. That's part of being in this business. And, you become a little more Teflon to some of the minor problems and you deal with the bigger ones.
I know it's hard to pick a favorite, and maybe you don't want to, but I will ask the question anyway. What is your favorite restaurant of all the ones that you have your name attached to?
My favorite restaurant is the restaurant I can't get a seat at any given at any given
So
night.
that's all of them, basically.
Well, it's hard. I used to have favorite restaurants when I was younger. Some of them I like more for design and decor. Others have that. Well, others for food or style. I like them all, though. I really do. I look at them all individually. I guess like children, and sometimes one of them is not producing or getting the best grades. And it needs a little more attention, and that's where we concentrate. There's also expansion, but I think there's a little something special in all of them, and some of them I do the design work. I tend to like. I get a real kick out of the one in White Plains. That's the Red Horse in White Plains, because from a decor standpoint, I did some risky things that paid off by like putting a pool table in the middle of the lounge area that has that you can eat at. You can play pool and eat at it. It's called the Cool Table, and that's been a big hit. And it's a fun business. It's not without its struggles, but it's rewarding. It's certainly not boring. The days fly by, and now our landscape is to look into. We're going to Florida. We're doing another big one in the city. We'll be in. We're at the Preserve in Rhode Island, and we continue to look for great opportunities that we can handle.
And you can handle it all, that's for sure. Well, I don't know how you have the time to do this, but you're also very philanthropic. You've been a board member of Table to Table for 20 years. Tell us why that initiative is so important to you.
So Table to Table, I started getting involved with them when I lived in Fort Lee. They're based in Englewood. It's a food rescue program, fresh food that goes to people in need in Patterson and the communities in Bergen County. They happen to raise the most. The money they raise, the percentage of the money they raise, the most goes to the charity. They've got several trucks, and it just felt like the right thing to do. We honor one chef every year, from Emerald to Thomas Keller to Rick Moon and Charlie Palmer, Bobby Flay, Jacques Pepin, and we have a nice gala. We raise plenty of money. There's lots of money in Bergen County, obviously, but it feels good to see the people that need the food get the food. So if one neighborhood goes down or one town next to a good town goes down, it affects everybody. So for those of us that do have and that can produce, like we can produce food. I can produce food and I can produce labor to help feed people. And I think I have an obligation to use my craft to help feed people and or my celebrity. And we happen to be in a position to do that. So I think it's the right thing to do. So that's been 20 years. We also do plenty of work down in Monmouth County where I live. In regard to helping, we help out the Girl Scouts, we help out Cancer Society, Meals on Wheels. We have our own foundation, Feed the Heroes, and one of the tough things with the pandemic is when we were closed down, we had no cash flow and no workers. It was hard for us to help. We had Feed the Heroes. We were making sandwiches and meals for the hospitals and the rescue workers, but it's a tough position to be in when you don't have the resources to help somebody. Imagine being in a position when you don't have the resource to help yourself. So I think it's the right thing to do. I was raised that way, and I feel that if you can give back, you should.
Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about your New Jersey upbringing.
I was born in Brooklyn, but as a I think at 2 or 3 years old, I moved to Hazlet, New Jersey in Monmouth County. which is not far from where I live in Atlantic Highlands. So it's close enough to the beach, close enough to the city. It was a good community. We had everything we needed: a pool, sports. We hung out in the woods. It was the 70s. I'm still close with my best friends from the grade school, and they're down in Florida mostly. I started working at a local motor inn, a hotel that used to have really good restaurant in it, believe it or not. And I was a dishwasher, and that's how I started. I wanted to be a chef at a very young age. I was a wrestler in high school. I was a pretty good wrestler. Many, many pounds ago, I was 101 pounds when I wrestled. I was a freshman at varsity level. So I learned the discipline of wrestling. I had a very kind of a strict dad, good upbringing with discipline for work, and I like to work. I like to make more money. I was a paper boy. I used to wash cars. I always worked because I was my dad gave me what I needed, but not what I wanted.
Well, you are the quintessential Garden State success story. For the young chefs that you see coming up on the scene, what is your advice to them to make it in the industry?
Well, we're working on a TV show. I'm working on a TV show with young chefs from Monmouth County. It's a preliminary stages. The key to a young chef, the key for anybody young getting into the restaurant business is to really understand what you're committing to. There's a lot of work, a lot of hours. There's a lot of giving up of holidays, weekends, relationships, family. There's all your nights are given up, your weekends. The pay is not very good at the beginning, but if you become very good, you can make a great living. It's a lot more passion than it is anything else, and determination. I love it. I think there's young people that love it, but it's one of those things you really got to make sure you like it before you commit to making a career out of it. And the other thing is to work for the best people you can find, because you want to your career for the first 6-7 years, even out of culinary school, is learning. Like a doctor, you need to go work for the best doctors and do an internship and learn from the best so that you don't get bad habits. And that, they start to understand that doing it the correct way or building the foundation correctly will lead to success. You don't want to learn the wrong way and have bad habits. So there's plenty to do. And don't be in a rush to be on the Food Network or an Instagram star. Be in a rush to learn how to draw the blueprints, understand the recipes, the chemistry, the creativity that puts together a good dish, and have some fun. And the other thing to watch out for is the burnout. Do not burn out. Take some time for yourselves, because we often, the younger guys wind up, girls and guys, they wind up working so much they forget that there's life outside the kitchen.
Well, you are doing a bang-up job, Chef. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend a few minutes with us here on Your New Jersey. Where can people find out all about you, your restaurants, this upcoming TV show?
Well, davidburke.com or chefdavidburke.com is even better. You'll check out our websites. We probably have an info page, and I think that's where you can find out. Instagram, Chef David Burke. Follow me on Instagram. That's where we have. You might laugh, you might learn, you'll certainly get a kick out of it. All right, good to see you.
Good to see you. We'll certainly be following you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thomas Doherty is the president of the Branch Brook Park Alliance in Newark. This alliance helps restore and landscape the park's amazing scenery. Here now to tell us more is Thomas. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here and so excited to share with everybody all of the exciting things that are going on in Essex County Branch Brook Park.
Yeah, well, I am very excited for this segment. I dressed for the occasion, as you can see. So we love spring around here. It's a fabulous season.
Agree. We love it too. It's a great time for renewal, and it's an opportunity to see the cherry blossom season and the trees in bloom.
Absolutely. So tell us what you do at the Alliance.
Yeah, sure. So my role as President and CEO of Branch Brook Park Alliance is to support our lean operating team, primarily in fund development and overseeing general operations. So we partner with Essex County Essex County and the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs and stewardship to the landscape. And so our lean team consists of a horticulturalist, a director of landscape management, and a fund development manager who are all working together to bring the park to life for all to enjoy.
Essex County places such an importance on its parks, and that's a large part of the executive, Joseph DiVincenzo. Why is that, in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. Joe D, he grew up in Newark and around Essex County. He's very passionate and dedicated to our community and also to ensuring that we have the parks and open space that are needed for all of us to continue to grow and thrive in the cities that we live in the county of Essex.
What is the history of Branch Brook Park? I mean, it's so storied, and I can't wait for my viewers to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there are two significant things I'd like to share with your viewership about Essex County Branch Brook Park. One is that the park was designed and developed in 1895 and was conceived by Frederick Law Olmsted Sr. It was later finished by the Olmsted Brothers firm. But what's exciting there is, again, it's the first county park system built in the United States. The other historical significance of Essex County Branch Brook Park is that we have the largest collection of Japanese flowering cherry blossom trees in the US. And not many people know that. Today in our collection, we have over 5,200 in over 18 different varieties. And so it's a great opportunity to see the history of the park come to life for today's modern use. And when we think about the history of the park, it was Caroline Bamberger Fold, who was in the 1920s a very famous philanthropist, and they owned a department store in the city of Newark, and that is now known as Macy's today. So she took a trip to Washington, D.C. To see the cherry blossoms there. And she was so enamored by the collection that she came back to the County Parks Commission at that time and made an offer, of course, that they couldn't refuse. And that was donating the first 2,000 trees to plant in Essex County Branch Brook Park, which we see today.
I love that tidbit. I just wish that we were a little more famous here in New Jersey for our cherry blossoms than Washington, D.C. No offense to them, but.
Well, with your help and the help of your viewers, we can get the word out there and tell more people.
Absolutely. Well, what do you do for park conservation?
Yeah, absolutely. So core to our work really is two things. One is continuing raising funds for capital so that we can continue to refresh and revitalize the park for today's modern use. Currently, projects underway are an $11 million project to revitalize and remodel and rebuild the Cherry Blossom Welcome Center. That was funds raised by Joe D in Essex County. In addition, we received recently a Green Acres grant that Essex County matched to refresh the Heller Parkway entrance where the Althea Gibson tennis courts are located. And then in addition, we're looking to raise several other $1 million to support a revamp of the water course in the park. So in addition to that, our primary focus really is on the ongoing stewardship and supporting Essex County and the Department of Parks in their efforts. And so what we do is we galvanize, as an example, last year, over 3,000 volunteers in stewardship to the park. And so we're working on a variety of projects from building out new garden beds to maintaining the renowned collection of Japanese flowering cherry blossom trees, in addition to general maintenance and upkeep, whether that's dealing with issues of debris or graffiti, those things that you typically see and experience in parks and open space. So really what we're doing is we're building a connection between the community and their park. In addition to galvanizing corporations, colleges, and universities in all of the work that we do. But in addition to the volunteer stewardship, we also provide a wide range of wellness programs. So as an example, during the peak season and of the year, we're providing complimentary yoga, Zumba, capoeira, all as an opportunity to remove those economic barriers that we experience in those traditional gym memberships or program fees, so that everyone has an opportunity to maintain and sustain their own individual wellness outcomes. And then one of the things that I'm really passionate about is our summer youth employment program. So what we do is we work in partnership with the city of Newark to galvanize high school students and to learn more about jobs in green space. And so every year for the last 5 years, we've had a cohort of about 15 City of Newark high school students work alongside us during the summer months to learn more about environmental stewardship and restoration.
That all sounds amazing, and I've seen the photos of yoga in the park, and there's no better place to do yoga than over there among the flowers and nature. You have the beautiful cathedral. You have the even views of the New York skyline from some areas of Branch Brook Park. So it's awesome that you're implementing that for Newark and its residents. Talk about some of the partnerships, because like you said, it really takes a village and you need a lot of money to sustain what you're doing. So who are some of the partners that you work with?
Yeah, excellently. A great question and a call out. One of the things I'd like to highlight is our longstanding partnership with a volunteer group known as Rutgers Master Gardeners, specifically within the county of Essex. They've been committed to partnering with us for many years in building out many of these formal gardens, in addition to caring for the largest collection of Japanese flowering cherry blossom trees. So that partnership has always been really critical for us. On the funding side, we must call out that Prudential Financial has been from the beginning a significant financial contributor to our efforts and committed to the refresh and renewal of the park. They have donated millions of dollars over many years, and most recently back in in the last couple of years, donated the first $1 million to Branch Brook Park Alliance's endowment, for which we are tremendously grateful. But on top of that, they also provide the power of their employees to volunteer alongside us several times per year in stewardship to the landscape, for which we are very grateful. But then again, when it comes to volunteer stewardship, our partnerships are with other organizations like Rutgers University in Newark, New Jersey Institute of Technology, Seton Hall University. There really isn't, there aren't too many universities that haven't gone the distance to volunteer and help us out. So those partnerships have been critical. And then, of course, without a doubt, and as we talked about earlier, the partnership with this public-private partnership with Essex County, Joe D. and the Department of Parks. He has been committed to our work and the support that we provide to him and his team. And in addition to that, they also share in our annual operating budget, for which we are very grateful for. And he has been doing that for many years. And so this partnership isn't just about government and corporations and nonprofit organizations, but it's also about individuals like your viewership that come together and that are also passionate about this 360-acre historical landscape work of art. And so there are opportunities for individuals to participate on the funding side, whether it's through a commemorative bench or an adopt a tree, or an individual contributions. There's a wide variety of ways for people to get involved and stay connected in this work.
You have your annual luncheon coming up on June 7th. Tell us all about it.
Yes. So this will be our second year of our annual fundraiser, and we call it the Clement A. Price Olmsted Lecture and Jazz Luncheon. And so the morning starts off with a lecture about the historical significance of the park, our partnership with the County of Essex, so we'll have two guest speakers, a renowned historian, in addition to a very well-known jazz musician and educator in the city of Newark. So we start that day in the Cathedral Basilica of the Sacred Heart, who donates generously their space for the 45-minute lecture. And then afterwards, donors traverse over to the park across the street, and we have a jazz and host a jazz luncheon for about 250 to 300 donors. So if anyone is interested in joining us on that day, June 7th, they can find out more information at our website, branchbrookpark.org.
This has been so insightful. Thank you so much for sharing with us the beautiful, rich history of the cherry blossoms in Branch Brook Park, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.